How's it going, YouTube? John here. If you're an iPhone customer, you may not be too happy with the way Apple's been doing things lately. So for example, since the iPhone, 6S, let's say starting at the 6, you've been seeing incremental upgrades with the new iPhones that have been released, and you've been seeing price increases, especially with things like the iPhone 10 and 10s and 10s Max. And I mean, how much more is really improving with the phone? I mean, what? You've got Face ID, they took away the fingerprint sensor. It's just getting really expensive, and you're not getting that much more functionality. So is this a good time to switch to a Galaxy S10? You may be considering switching to a Samsung phone, a Galaxy S10 specifically. And being an iPhone customer, you probably appreciate good hardware. Of course, Samsung's hardware quality, it's really great. The screen's gonna be impeccable, as we all know. So I have a few points for you to consider if you're thinking of switching from iPhone to the Galaxy S10 when it comes out. I just have some notes here, so I'm going to be looking at them, so pardon me if I look to my side. Let's see. The first point I have noted is, what do you prefer, Notch or Infinity O? So the Samsung phone, as you may already know, the Galaxy S10 is probably going to come out with the Infinity O display. So you're going to have pretty much, more or less, a full screen on the phone, and a little circle cut out from the screen. Would you prefer that over having a notch? Now, of course, most people don't like the notch, at least most of them. It's not fun, but what happens is people adapt and people get used to it. So we got used to the notch. Would you get used to the Infinity O cutout? And the reason I say this is there's something about the way you view videos in default on an iPhone. So say, for example, you're watching a YouTube video. In default, what happens is the video is kind of zoomed out. So you see like black bars on the sides of the video to the left and to the right. So you don't really see the notch. It doesn't cut into the video unless you make the video full screen and zoom in. And then the notch is very visible when you're watching a video on your iPhone 10 or 10s or 10s Max. On the Samsung Galaxy S10, what's probably going to happen is, I don't know yet, but I don't think they're gonna make you zoom out on videos, or they're gonna have videos playing out in a zoomed out version so much that it's gonna take out the little circular cutout to see a full screen of video without the itty bitty cutout in it. What I think is more likely to happen is to have a full screen showing the video with that little bit cut out. Are you gonna feel okay with that? I mean, if somebody is a bit, specific on their screens, are you gonna be okay with having that itty bitty bit cut out of the screen? Frankly, my opinion is, like people got used to the notch, they're probably gonna get used to the small cutout in the Infinity O display. And in the end, it's probably gonna be a better viewer experience. But it's a point to mention. Would you rather have an Infinity O display or a display with a notch? Another point is the UI. Now, the Galaxy S10 is going to come with the One UI, which is pretty much smoother. It's more clutter-free than what you would get before on a Galaxy phone. So that's an improvement. It's an enhancement. But would you take that over your iPhone's user interface? Would you prefer it to that? Now, that's a big question for an iPhone user. I mean, One UI may be nice for somebody who's been using Galaxy phones already. So if they're comparing to their experience previously on the previous UI with One UI, they may feel that they're getting an upgrade. They may feel that they're getting a better experience. But if you're coming from iPhone, would you prefer One UI to the UI you had on your iPhone? Another thing, by the way, about UIs is on an Android device, you can get launchers. So on your Samsung device, you can get the Nova launcher, for example. And basically, it's UI, basically. So you can get a different UI if you don't like the one that comes on your Galaxy S10. On iPhone, you can't do that. So do you want to have that option? Does that matter to you? If it does it matter enough for you to ditch iPhone and to go to Galaxy S10? Another point I want to mention, this is not too much of a big deal, but since you're an iPhone user, if you are, then you may be more interested in the artistic side of things. So the animations, I think, let's just say, would you prefer iPhone animations or would you prefer the Galaxy S10 animations? Another thing to consider is functionality. Now, when it comes to functionality, there is a bit to be said about this. Obviously, a Galaxy S10 is going to have a lot more functionality, is going to be more versatile than an iPhone. Just simply because, I mean, one of the simplest things to comment on is the fact that you can connect an OTG cable to your Galaxy S10 when it comes out, of course, and then you can basically attach an external drive to your phone and access the data on that external drive. Or you can attach a USB using the OTG cable to your Galaxy S10 and access the data that you have on that USB on your phone. You can actually do that on the Galaxy S10 or on a Galaxy phone, generally speaking. You can do that on the Galaxy phone, and you cannot do that on an iPhone. So that's something. So you have a lot more functionality. What do you want? Do you want the functionality that comes with the Galaxy phone, or do you want to keep your iPhone? That's another thing to consider. Now, being an Apple customer, one way you may already be used to thinking of issues is, do I need this? So say you walk into an Apple store today and you want to buy a new MacBook Pro. You look at the bottom spec one and you look at the highest spec one and you think to yourself, wow, I would really want the highest spec one, but it's way too expensive for me. At which point the Apple team member who's helping you might say to you, well, okay, but do you need it? What do you need? Do you need the highest spec one? If you don't, then you can just buy what you need. So with the Apple mindset, you may be thinking to yourself, I don't need to use my smartphone to access data on an external drive or on a USB. I just need it to be a phone, which is fine. Or you may think to yourself, no, I want the most functionality, the most versatility I can get out of a phone. Hence, I want to switch from an iPhone to a Galaxy S10. Your choice. Another point to consider is the ecosystem. If you've been an iPhone user for a long time, chances are you have other Apple devices and they all talk to each other. It's a really awesome thing. And if you buy a Galaxy S10, you'd be kind of breaking that circle as far as your smartphone goes. You would be stepping out of that ecosystem. You're no longer going to have iMessages. So that's one other thing that you'd be giving up. So that's one thing you'd be giving up if you switch from iPhone to the Galaxy S10. Are the offerings that come in the Galaxy S10 enticing enough for you to leave the Apple ecosystem and to ditch your iPhone basically and get a Galaxy S10? Customization. Now, customization I would think is a big thing for Android users in general, and with iPhone you don't really get that. The thing is, if you want customization, say for example, if you want to have a different color text bubble for different people in your contact list, that's something you can do with a Galaxy phone, but you can't do that with an iPhone. So does customization in that's just an example, of course, but I mean generally speaking, does customization matter to you? If it matters to you, then does it matter to you enough for you to leave your iPhone to get a Galaxy S10, or does it not matter to you, in which case you'd want to stay with your iPhone? Another thing is security, and I mean, frankly speaking, just out of the box, again, I'm saying just out of the box, iPhone is more secure than Android devices. Android devices have more vulnerabilities than iPhone. So I'm not saying that you can't make your Android device secure. I'm not saying that you can't secure your Galaxy S10. Yes, you can, and there are measures you can take to make it more secure and to preserve its security. But again, out of the box, iPhone is more secure. So are the offerings of the Galaxy S10 enticing enough for you to switch to Galaxy S10 from an iPhone? These are several points to consider if you're thinking of switching from iPhone to Galaxy S10, and I hope this helps you in making your decision. Thanks for watching this video, guys. If you liked it, please like this video, please share and subscribe to my channel, and thank you for watching.